Hello, I'm Dr. King. I'm an internal medicine physician, and as an internal medicine physician, I deal with a lot of preventable illnesses that have simply got out of control, and a lot of it is because of obesity. One of the questions that I get is, what is considered aerobic activity? You hear me talk about a lot that you need to have some type of aerobic activity in order to lose weight. Well, the fast and dirty answer is that anything that gets your heart rate up and your respirations up is considered aerobic activity. You want to make sure you don't overdo it, because if you overdo it, then you get into anaerobic activity. That is activity without oxygen. You don't want to be there for too long, or that'll be your last activity of the day and probably of your life. So you want to make sure you stay aerobic. You should not feel any pain. Always check in with your body. If you're feeling pain, it's time to stop, especially if it's chest pain or severe back pain or something that you need to let your physician know about. So the question is, how do you even check your heart rate? How do you know what your pulse is? Well, there's a couple places that you can check it. You can check it right here in your carotid artery, or you can check it right here, your radial pulse. And you want to count how many times your heart beats in a minute. Well, if you're like me, I'm going to start daydreaming after about 20 seconds. So what you want to do is you just want to check it for, say, 10 seconds and times that number times 6. Or you can check it for 30 seconds and times that number times 2. That's going to give you your heart rate, also known as your pulse. So now that you know how to check that, the second question is, what should your maximum heart rate while you're exercising be? Well, that's going to depend on your age. And so there's a formula. You want to take 220 minus your age, and that should be your maximum heart rate. In other words, you don't want to go over that heart rate. So take the average 40-year-old. 220 minus 40 equals 180. So while you're working out, you don't want to go over 180. What should your average aerobic heart rate be while you're exercising? This is your ideal heart rate to get the maximum aerobic benefit. 180 minus your age will give you your ideal heart rate while you're working out. So take that same 40-year-old. 180 minus 40, that's 140. Now, of course, it doesn't have to be right on the dot, plus or minus 5 or 10. If you're a person that works out regularly, that number can be a little higher. You can add 5 to 10 points onto that. But likely that number is still going to fall in that range, because the more in shape you are, the lower your heart rate. So your resting heart rate should be between 60 and 80. If someone lives a sedentary lifestyle, means that they're pretty much a couch potato, that number may be a little elevated. If you're older, that number may be a little elevated, but it always should be less than 100. Top athlete, their resting heart rate is probably going to be around 60. So that's how you can tell what your heart rate is, what your maximum heart rate should be, and what your ideal aerobic heart rate should be. If you would like more information, feel empowered, and completely transform your life, please go to meetdrking.com. I would love to meet you in a healthy state and not in one of my hospitals.